Can we just detach his head, please?
Here's what's gonna happen. In the next 60 seconds, you're gonna watch your own head drop into that box. Nothing is gonna keep you from that special place in hell.
Vin Diesel's first franchise, The Chronicles of Riddick, is making a comeback after 11 years with a new movie, Riddick Furia. The timing couldn't be better. Even though there are only 3 movies so far, this franchise has been Diesel's longest running. With the Fast and Furious series wrapping up, the Riddick franchise is the perfect way for Diesel to keep showcasing his action chops while delving deeper into the lore of his iconic anti-hero, Richard Riddick. The Chronicles of Riddick kicked off in 2000 with Pitch Black, a sci-fi thriller about a group of survivors who crash land on a perilous planet facing a total solar eclipse. Among them is Richard Riddick, a convict with surgically enhanced eyes that let him see in the dark, making him an invaluable asset to the group. The subsequent films follow Riddick's adventures across the galaxy as he gets entangled in conflicts with alien factions and uncovers more about his Furian heritage. We will see Riddick returning to his home planet, which he thought was lost. Upon his return, he reunites with his fellow Furians, only to discover they are under threat from a monstrous creature. To save their planet and his people, Riddick must team up with the Furians to fight this dangerous foe. The film promises to delve deeper into Riddick's backstory, continuing the lore that began with 2000's Pitch Black. Currently, the film is in pre-production, and Vin Diesel is the only confirmed cast member. Filming for Riddick Furia is set to start in August, with locations in Germany, Spain, and the UK. More updates are expected soon. Diesel is juggling several projects, including Fast X Part 2, so the timeline for Riddick Furia's production is still uncertain. However, given Diesel's dedication to the Riddick franchise, it's likely that this project is a top priority for him. According to Deadline, Vin Diesel will kick off production on Riddick Furia on August 26, 2024. Diesel will be producing the film through One Race Films along with Samantha Vincent. Thorsten Schumacher from Rocket Science and Lars Sylvestre from Thank You Studios are also on board as producers, alongside Joe Newrouter. Rocket Science, which handled international rights, has already secured global pre-sales. However, a North American distributor hasn't been confirmed yet. The original film was released by USA Films, and the subsequent 2 were distributed by Universal Pictures. Since the last Riddick film in 2013, Diesel has been involved in several other franchises. He continued the Triple X series with 2017's Triple X Return of Xander Cage, which received poor reviews and had a 45% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Diesel also attempted to start a new franchise with 2020's Bloodshot, based on the comic series, but it was a critical flop with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 31%. Recently, it was announced that Diesel would star in a Kojak remake, another attempt to reboot a classic franchise. Diesel's biggest successes have been with the Fast and Furious series and his role as Groot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Since his debut as Groot in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy, Diesel has voiced the character in 6 more Marvel movies and a TV spin-off. However, Groot plays a relatively minor role compared to his other notable performances, and with Marvel entering a new phase, Diesel can't rely solely on the MCU to sustain his career. Riddick represents his best chance to continue a franchise and expand a cinematic universe. Furia is still in the pre-production stages, so there haven't been any cast announcements for Riddick 4 beyond Vin Diesel. However, there's a good chance we could see some familiar faces from the Riddick franchise. Actors like Karl Urban, Katee Sackhoff, and Dave Bautista, who have all gone on to have incredibly successful careers since the last Riddick film in 2013, could potentially return. Their increased star power, combined with Diesel's, would make for a much stronger casting statement now than it did in the early 2010s. With the return of these actors, could be a significant factor in bringing the Riddick franchise into the mainstream spotlight. With that being said, Vin Diesel recently teased fans with concept art for Riddick Furia, showing his iconic anti-hero wielding Furian powers. In the image shared on Instagram, Riddick stands with his back turned, emanating a cool blue energy that looks like a scythe from his right arm. Diesel captioned the post, "The Furian," hinting at a new evolution for the sci-fi action character. The new concept art and statements from Diesel and Twohy suggest that Riddick Furia will delve deeper into Riddick's unique powers, rooted in his mysterious past. Riddick, believed to be the last of the Furians, narrowly escaped death as a child when the bloodthirsty necromongers tried to kill him, spurred by a prophecy that he would kill their leader, Lord Marshal Zhilaw. This prophecy came true in the Chronicles of Riddick, with Riddick taking control of the necromongers before being betrayed and left for dead on a desolate planet. With that said, it seems Riddick 4 is skipping a movie. The Chronicles of Riddick introduced a lot of lore through its antagonists, the necromongers, an empire of religious fanatics who aim to convert or destroy non-believers, believing in a promised land called the Underverse, where they would be reborn. In a 2013 interview with Screen Rant, director David Twohy mentioned, "I believe there are 2 more movies," and suggested the 4th film would follow Riddick on a journey through the Underverse to reach his home planet Furia. He even hinted at the possibility of a 2-part sequel. Given that Riddick 4 is subtitled Furia, it seems Twohy and Diesel have decided to skip a film and focus on bringing Riddick home. This decision could be due to budget constraints, as Riddick movies are typically lower-budget, R-rated productions. An extensive journey through the Underverse might have been too ambitious. While it was cut from the theatrical release, the extended Blu-ray version of Riddick ended with the character preparing to travel through the Underverse to find Karl Urban's necromonger, Vakko, likely setting up Twohy's original plan for Riddick 4. Now, it seems the Underverse may be reduced to a prologue instead. Riddick's creator, David Twohy, aims to provide the series with a definitive conclusion. Throughout the films, Vin Diesel's character has undergone significant growth, transitioning from an anti-hero to a more nuanced protagonist. The Chronicles of Riddick in particular offered development as Riddick faced personal loss and unearthed secrets about his home planet. There's a palpable sense of progression in Riddick's journey, with hints of an eventual conclusion to his story. In an interview, Twohy expressed the importance of concluding the series, stating, "It's good that we are looking at ending the series," and revealing, "I think there's a real end to this and I know what that last movie looks like." This planned final chapter for Riddick stands in contrast to the Fast and Furious franchise, which continuously introduces new threats to its characters. The decision to skip the originally planned 2-movie arc seems wise, as it avoids revisiting complex necromonger lore that may not have resonated strongly with audiences, as seen with the underwhelming reception of the Chronicles of Riddick. The strength of the Riddick films lies in their lean, B-movie style, with world-building playing a secondary role to the character-driven action. Furia is set to give Riddick the closure he's been seeking. In Pitch Black, we met Riddick as the ultimate loner, avoiding human connections at all costs. While he softened slightly in later films, the 3rd installment highlighted his obsession with uncovering his origins. His enhanced abilities, like night vision and strength, stem from his home planet Furia, which was ravaged by the necromongers when he was just a baby. Given Diesel's penchant for family themes in his other projects, it's likely that Riddick's journey in Furia will involve confronting familial drama and reconciling with his past. Returning to Furia offers Riddick the chance to make peace with his demons and shape his own destiny. Since Pitch Black propelled Diesel to stardom, he undoubtedly has a special attachment to the character and will want to give him a fitting send-off. Concept art for Riddick 4 hints at encounters with other Furians, possibly leading to conflicts matching his strength. One looming question is whether Riddick will meet his end in Furia. While Diesel's characters typically avoid on-screen deaths, returning to Furia prevents formidable challenges. The planet's harsh conditions push the limits of even the superhuman Furians. As the conclusion to the series, Riddick 4 might see Riddick making a heroic sacrifice or facing mortal danger. But given Diesel's track record, he'll likely receive a more hopeful resolution, steering clear of bleak outcomes to satisfy audiences. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.